everybody, Zachary Levi here, just outside of San Francisco, California, at world-class development studio Crystal Dynamics, whose current project is the reimagining of the Tomb Raider franchise. From now until the game launches, we're going to be hopping around the globe, bringing you exclusive first looks at some of the key ingredients that are shaping and creating this world. First stop, Digital Domain, Los Angeles, California, to meet one of the most crucial
Might be in picture gallery. Ah, okay.
Lara Croft herself. I'm Zachary Levi, and these are the final hours of Tomb Raider.
Yo, I'm actually interested in this, so we're literally... rest of my stream for the next 20 minutes is just going to be these videos because I'm interested.
Where they do a lot of mocap for big Hollywood films.
It is the guy from Chuck.
And video games like Tomb Raider, and today we are going to meet the new Lara Croft, who is around here somewhere. Teaser. And this...
Did she have any pants on? That's a white ass room.
Magic happens. I think that might be the new Lara Croft. That's the new Lara Croft.
Why is her ass out? I've never known mocap for you to have your ass out, but then again it is Lara Croft, so...
Many actors have played the part of Lara Croft, but for the reboot of this franchise, the team conducted an exhaustive international search for someone who could bring a whole new level
Cheeks
of
out,
emotion
baby.
to a character who's become so familiar. In late 2010, a young English-born actress was chosen to become one of the most recognizable characters in video games.
My name is Camilla Luddington. I'm a British actress living in Los Angeles. I am the voice and character of Lara Croft.
Who played Lara Croft in the new, like, movie? I might watch that at some point.
Overwhelmed at the honor of playing an icon like Lara Croft. I think I screamed in my car actually when I heard that I got the role.
She British.
Lara Croft, one of the most iconic female characters in all of gaming. This is really her origin story, how Lara became the super badass that she is in later years.
She is just a young, naive.
So it wasn't this girl.
21-year-old who has a thirst for adventure.
No, she looks completely different.
Hearted, almost killer, and she's a badass and everything. But I think in this, you see her struggle.
You can do this, Lara.
Please come and get me.
When we went through the process of looking for actresses the world over, I mean, this was Europe, this was LA, we had hundreds and hundreds of actresses.
Yeah, I know, right?
Whittled down, and we ended up with Camilla.
It's so serious.
That rawness that we wanted. You know, somebody who not only wanted the part, but was willing to push her character into that emotional area that we wanted.
Let's learn a little bit about Camilla. Where are you from?
I am from a town in England called Ascot in Berkshire. And it's
like those things you wear around your neck.
Really didn't do TV.
Was that him trying to flirt? That made me feel very uncomfortable.
Stage background, which I also think helps though with this because this is almost feels like
Yeah.
performing on a stage.
I wish more games were serious.
Yes.
It's all Fortnite now.
This is performance capture stage.
The volume.
The volume they call it. That's interesting. You'll have to explain that to me later.
I don't know why.
I think maybe it's like a measurement thing, like. Height,
He is legitimately trying to flirt with her.
Yeah.
Math nerd. And you also do get nifty props.
It is so cringe.
Careful, careful, careful. You can hit somebody. Jeez.
Wow. Is that they'll put Velcro on this, and they'll be like, okay, you're gonna have a gun and another gun, and they'll just stick to you.
How much Velcro does a bazooka need to stay on tightly?
A lot.
There had to have been a lot of pressure as far as being the new Lara.
God, he's like, so what you doing later?
Out in the woods, did you go hunt boar with a bow and arrow?
Well, what's funny is I actually did archery when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at the time you're thinking, why do I need archery?
Why has everyone done archery when they're a kid when they grow up in fucking Berkshire?
Interestingly enough.
No!
Yeah. You fucking idiot. Why would there be a bazooka in the game?
Icon.
What an absolute dingus.
I think she's both.
Oh!
Obviously, she's a game icon. But I also think she's a sex
Oh, she's a sex symbol.
She fights for what she believes in.
He's like, yo, are you a sex symbol?
And I think those
I see them cheeks.
The shorts
Wink,
are
wink.
gone. Which I'm sure most guys will think is a bummer. I like her new look. Yes, she's still gorgeous, but now she's a person.
Camilla brings truth. She is truly breathing life into Lara Croft.
If you're just joining the stream, you missed all the action. Now we're just watching this and watching the dude who plays Chuck try and get with the mocap of Lara Croft.
You're like, wow.
When I got got this role at first, I did not even know that I would be crying so much. I just thought I'd be kicking butt. That was the Lara that I thought I'd gotten myself into. This was some of the most emotionally and physically draining work that I'd ever done.
I had to bite off a man's ear.
This is the very first time I get to see this.
Oh God! I had to do it. I had to do it.
So the fans have now seen
Yeah,
Lara's
duh.
first kill. What was that moment for you like?
Intense, for sure. Probably one of the hardest things to film. She has to fight for her life. It's fascinating.
You're
how
telling
she
me that
reacts
they
to
didn't
that.
actually kill a man to get that scene
It
working.
really
It's a fucking point.
gets to her when you see her become Lara Croft.
Camilla Luddington is our new Lara Croft. Strong.
I like that artwork.
Gorgeous. Brave. How did she get so brave? Excellent question. We're going to cover that in our next installment when we sit down with the writers who crafted.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not real, why bother?
Of Lara Croft. Don't miss it.
Oh, next episode, kids. Are we gonna fucking see more cringe? I hope so.
Hey everybody, Zachary Levi.
I am
here in
actually
downtown
really
San
excited
Diego
to play
at
Rise.
Comic-Con, more specifically at Nerd HQ, which is the epicenter of all things Tomb Raider. The anticipation is building as the team from Crystal Dynamics continues to say that this could be the game.
I've heard there's a higher
Today we're gonna dig a little bit deeper into the story with
difficulty
some
on it as well.
and designers who are
So-
brave enough to tackle the origin stories of Lara Croft.
Might be going into
These are the
some
final hours of Tomb Raider.
really hard difficulty for Rise. It's like Survivalist or something.
We're in
Oh my god,
downtown
look at
San
all the
Diego.
nerds.
We're at Nerd HQ. Fans
It's an actual
public
place called
play the game
Nerd
for
HQ.
the first
What the
time
shit?
ever. Are you nervous?
This is the most
And I haven't
nervous
seen a
time
single
of
neck
the
beard.
entire
What the
game.
fuck's going on?
This is huge for us. This is the first time we're giving anybody the opportunity to put their hands on the game. It's not finished yet.
It's hard to send it out into the world like that. It's a little young. It's a little fresh.
When you put it in the
Oh,
public's
if only they
hands,
could give CD
you're gonna be
Projekt a
very
fucking couple of
raw,
pointers, eh?
unfiltered, like, hey, this is what we love and this is what we don't.
You'll start to read about it now. You'll start to see it online. You'll start to get people's perspectives.
We're making sure that we make it the best thing that we can for the fans, and these are the fans.
Why make an origin story? You could just kind of continue with the Lara Croft Tomb Raider saga, but you didn't. Why?
Did you really have to
Started
ask
with the
that
idea
question
of
while
doing
you had a
something
mouthful of
actually. We
food?
started with the idea of doing something fresh.
There haven't been very many games that have the opportunity
Everyone here
to
has
go
a
back
massive
and tell
Funko
the true
collection.
origin story. There is very few games like this.
In the history of the Tomb Raider franchise, there has not been a female lead writer until now. Brianna Pratchett.
For me, I didn't think of it like we needed a
Yo!
writer to do that.
I like the fact that the
Brianna
lead
did
writer
the
was female.
Brianna Pratchett.
That's really
Does it
sick.
take a woman to know a woman.
It probably helps, but I don't kind of think about it as much as everyone else does. I tend to think of myself as being a writer first. There is some of me in her, absolutely. She's very bookish, she's very in her head. I went to public school, I actually learned archery.
Camilla did as well, I heard.
We bring up our ladies properly. And I genuinely studied Egyptology. I wanted to be an Egyptologist.
No way.
You know, I've always been a huge fan.
How long
of
until he
films.
starts flirting with her?
I mean, I grew up
I'm taking bets.
on Terminator and Aliens. You know, fighting aliens in the future. I thought that was what girls did. It's great to be here at Comic-Con. This is my first time. People are really responding to this kind of new Lara. The fans have been great. They've been very supportive. I want to kind of live up to their expectations. I grew up going to fantasy and science fiction conventions. Now
There
here
is
I am
not a
looking at Tomb Raider
pixelated titty
poster
anywhere.
on the side of a building for a Tomb Raider
Yeah,
game.
there was
I've
another
written
dude there. He was like,
wasn't
he's
quite
gonna,
very
yeah,
good,
chug his
but very
cock.
cool. Lara's actions affect her character and her emotional state, and so the first
Yeah.
kill for us was a big thing. It's not comfortable to watch, and it shouldn't be.
Oh, God.
And it is about picking yourself up, despite the fact that you're scared. You can't have bravery without fear.
In video games, you're kind of tweaking all the way down to delivery.
Yeah.
Blessing or curse.
Games development can be.
Do you think I can fit another CD Projekt Red in?
You can lose levels or
Joke.
characters. You have to be amazingly flexible.
When is the script finally finished?
you get insight when you see it through your audience's eyes. So once the story gets to a point where we can start sharing with people, where we can start putting it on the screen, then we start to understand.
Whenever they go on about fucking
what we want them to get from it. The feedback is that it's really fulfilling
the game being not buggy.
Delivering a story that introduces people to a Lara Croft, but also just takes them on an amazing adventure.
John Stafford, you're kind of the dialogue
typist, word monkey.
The words that you've been speaking for so long.
Yes.
Are from this
everything
man.
that I've been through that's been extremely emotionally
Lara.
draining and painful, I have him to blame for.
Laura.
We'll have
Lara.
What were the challenges stepping into the
Laura.
mind of a
That's a new way of saying it. There you go.
For quite some time.
Yes. Players have expectations.
It's French.
You want to just
Laura.
guns blazing.
Controller, I'm, you know.
Lara.
I'm awesome. That's what video games basically allow gamers
right?
to feel. I am awesome.
Challenge for me.
You should feel like you're awesome always. You shouldn't have to play video games to feel
have
that.
a very playable game that also show real emotional character. It's very difficult to do that in game.
Please come and get me.
You can do this, Lara.
When you have really extreme circumstances, you have really extreme emotions.
Oh, Ro, you are awesome. You should feel awesome, always.
It's all about her survival. She's basically willing to do whatever it takes. There's people trying to kill you. You know, things are really extreme.
Hey, Fick is awesome, girl.
I'm gonna get you out of there. I promise. I promise. I didn't want any lines to sound gamey. There was a good
Gamey?
collaboration of making sure
What does that mean?
That's
I don't want any lines to sound gamey.
Write a line that isn't just like, I should go there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's...
I bet there's something hidden in that crate.
I want you to love
She
this
laughed
game
way too hard at that
in a
joke. It
way
wasn't funny.
That really feels like the first time you played it, but do it in a way that people have never seen before. For me, it's crazy not to look at this as an opportunity to really start that dialogue.
This is the game of our careers. This truly is the first time to sort of say, okay, this is it.
Well, now that we know a bit more about what it takes to reimagine an icon from the ground up, we're headed east to go behind the sounds of Lara's journey. A journey that is heightened and shaped by cinematic score and sound design. I hope to see you on the next episode when we talk to who's behind what we're hearing in Tomb Raider.
Oh, are you excited, guys? Excited for the next episode? How many fucking episodes are there? There's fucking 6. Jesus Christ. No, I made a commitment. I'm gonna fucking watch all of them. London!
Hey everybody, Zachary Levi here in the heart of London's famous...
How many fucking times does he change his look?
Is BAFTA, the British Academy for Film and Television Arts. Why are we here? Excellent question.
He looks like a shit Oliver Queen.
Tomb Raider, the series, has garnered a lot of love and accolade from BAFTA over the years. Some of the key players on Crystal's dev team are BAFTA LA members. And to top it all off, legendary video game composer Jason Graves is a BAFTA winner. We're going to catch up with him in just a bit, but first...
That's not London, there's no chavs around.
Where we go behind the scenes at Jason's recording studio.
Bleached his beard. He
This is the
did!
final hours of Tomb Raider.
The more I watch of this, though, the more hype I'm getting to play Rise. Mate, use a toner. Absolutely.
There have been many composers in the games or the films, but they've always used the original theme. They said, we want to start with a clean slate, new theme. I did it on piano, very simple. I was really scared just to send it because I'm like, I don't know, I think this really works, I think I like it. We ended up taking that exact theme. The first demo I sent was on the first trailer. That exact same arrangement.
Absolutely. If they changed, like, the theme drastically,
So, Jason, currently you're working
be a fucking
on
riot.
reimagining of Tomb Raider. When you're taking on a new project, what are the things that attract you to that project? The heritage of a particular game, I think obviously...
And don't even get me started on Tomb Raider. I literally almost drove off the road. I was on the phone with the audio director. Like, oh, stoplight! And I had to pull over a little bit to not hit the car behind me. What I loved about Tomb Raider, what really drew me to the project was they had no pre-existing conditions. What
Because
can you
they
do?
wanted to get out of what it used to be.
They wanted something new. They wanted something fresh.
Jason's done hundreds of games by this point, He was an easy choice for us to go with on paper because he has such great experience. I listened through a lot of different material from a lot of different composers. I was really taken by how well he did the intimate stuff. The textures and the real... Like,
I will say the music in this game are fucking on point, though.
Highlight in the game were a great match for us.
What is square one for you when you start wrapping your head around it going, this is where I feel like this world is going to exist?
Main theme, call me old-fashioned. Then it was a matter of finding out what kind of percussion would work. And always going back to
that must be a fun job.
Because that's kind of the heart of the game.
Slap some bongos around.
The thing that we need to get right is Lara's theme. One of our big goals was that it can be used in any emotional context. What does it sound like? High action. What does it sound like when she's in pain?
For music, the gameplay, and the concept art, especially with the scavengers and kind of the shanty town, corrugated metal, how everything's kind of this amalgam of different stuff that they found on the island. Like, that's what I want the music to sound like. The bad guys are playing the music now. Alex said something like, it'd be really cool to have something, you know, chains on a metal board, or like you're banging a metal fence.
2 weeks later, Jason calls me up and he's like, so this guy who's like this sculptor who lives right around the corner from me, I was talking to him about the idea of creating an instrument. And I'm like, that sounds completely insane. We have to do that.
Tackling the score to one of the most iconic franchises in the world brought a unique challenge. How best to capture the emotional timbre of the characters and island in music? People, I give you the instrument.
The instrument.
That's really fucking cool. That's wild.
Determine the aesthetics.
They just made something and was like, you know what, let's slap that shit around for a bit.
Matt built this, which looks pretty much exactly like Laura's original homemade bow in the game. There's different
that's so cool.
timbres based on different materials, metal, glass. It's a direct line from the plot, the characters, the story.
It does look like Palmer's failed barbecue.
We always wanted the island to have that character in itself. Creating an instrument gave it this unique identity.
It's got a voice.
Yeah.
The very beginning of the game is nothing but the instrument.
Negril? What the heck is that?
What do you look at
Le instrument?
Film that you go,
Why doesn't mine look like that?
Shaped who I am and what I do for a living.
They're all dead, unfortunately.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's classical composers.
All classical?
Yeah, I'm kind of going directly back to the source.
Yeah.
Prokofiev's, Tchaikovsky, even for some of the
Also, if I find somebody that I'm really inspired by, I get inspired by them and kill them.
Back to ballets or opera, which is kind of
That's why they're all dead.
precursor to film and video games. You know, they were telling a story. That's what I love about that music. It tells a story. Even if you don't know the plot, you can listen to it. And film music's the same way.
It's true.
It's tough with games to do things that are subtle. You want to make Lara relatable, make her realistic.
Another one. She went down over there.
Tell her story from the beginning and show how she became the superhero she becomes.
One of the first things that I ask any developer is the emotion. Because to me, that's the biggest thing that music can do in a tenth of a second. The music just, it nails the emotion.
Wow, that was amazing, huh? I personally don't think I've ever sounded so good in an interview before. Although Jason, Jack, and Alex are audio savants, so that would make perfect sense.
I want to see him flirting with Lara again. It was funny when he was being cringy. Come on.
But the emotion and mood and tone that they're going to set with their incredible skill.
That's why I'm mainly watching these videos now.
Time for a special secret announcement that is going to change the way you play Tomb Raider forever.
Oh, that'll be unfortunate. I just finished the game, mate. Did I see that Guardians game?
Hey everybody, Zachary Levi here.
Oh, he doesn't look like much of a twat in this one. That's alright.
Exclusive behind-the-scenes looks at the final hours of development of Tomb Raider. You've seen Camilla recording her last few lines, Rihanna musing her last few words, and Jason completing the last few notes of the score. As those key pieces lock into place, it's time to reveal one of the last portions of the game, and a team that's been shrouded in secrecy for 2 years. We're here in the beautiful and freezing Montreal, Canada, to bring you the final hours of Tomb Raider multiplayer edition.
Oh, that's the secret.
Tomb Raider.
He does look like a criminal.
Welcome to yet another world-class studio in the Square Enix portfolio, Eidos Montreal, home of the multi-award-winning game Deus Ex. Locked away in one of the far corners of the studio is a team of experienced, passionate professionals who have been specially brought together to create the first ever multiplayer component to the Tomb Raider universe.
Yo, you tried to get a fucking game on that a day? Servers are dead as fuck, mate.
Get a chance to play a few rounds.
Granted, it's an eight-year-old game, but you know, there's trophies to be gotten.
Why we're here, Carl? You now have
Girl,
an amazing stash.
as a trophy hunter, it pains me when I go into a lobby and try and get the fucking multiplayer trophies, and they're not even easy multiplayer trophies either.
We set up the gaming challenge and we brought studios from all around the world together. I think so far we've raised somewhere in the region of $140,000–150,000.
Well done.
Been a big success, although my wife doesn't necessarily always approve.
She hates it?
Oh, my wife wakes up in the
No. She
morning.
says that she hates it. She secretly loves it. What were some of the factors that led to a multiplayer facet to this new Tomb Raider?
When we started
IMO, game shouldn't have had multiplayer.
Tomb Raider, on paper,
Ruins
it
it.
was all about single player. And as we started to build that world out, we had the island, we had the Solari and the scavengers.
I will say some of the maps though are really fucking cool.
Warring factions, great landscapes.
Yeah, we had all these really awesome places where it was all about traversal and single player. When we started looking at that, we thought, wow, well, what about multiplayer?
Part of the genesis of that
Guardian
was
of Light,
Lara Croft,
that's the game.
Guardian of Light, that kind of cracked open
It
the
is still
door
poop.
to lead you guys into the multiplayer into here at Eidos Montreal.
God, Guardian of Light is a game I should play.
A smaller scale project, and that
I'd only
allowed
want to play
us
it with
sort
somebody
of
else.
Take the risks that we wouldn't necessarily take on a full-blown project.
Guardian of Light was our Pixar short. It's the idea that whilst you're building your big project, you're always thinking about that next thing, but also allowed us to be able to start understanding co-oping and networking. It was a game that actually brought Tomb Raider fans together for one of the very first times. You hear them in their ear and they were having fun. And as a result of that, that led to us thinking about multiplayer.
Hopefully our single-player experience we're delivering is a very sort of single-player, solitary, immersive
Temple of Osiris.
experience. But at the same time, we believed
What is
tomb
that?
raiding together with friends would be fun.
Tomb raiding. I think that's the first time I've ever heard that term. I like that.
It's
Temple
fun.
of
You know, axe climbing, zip lining,
Osiris.
and the traversal that we get in there, and the traps. For me, it was very sad to have that catch-22.
Oh, that's what it's called.
Do this in multiplayer, but
I think I
we
have it
can't
too.
Split our resources like that.
And that's how Eidos Montreal came about. We had
I'm pretty sure I do.
to develop a single player. Everybody was gelling together really well, and it wasn't something
Mm,
that we wanted
yeah,
to
yeah,
just
yeah.
bolt on. We always said if we were going to do it.
I'm pretty sure I
we
do.
were right.
Hang on, let me check.
Have a fan play the multiplayer for the first time. What do you want them saying?
For me, they're kind of different moods. It's not like I do one or the other. It's kind of like sometimes I turn down the lights and just play that single player experience. And other times I want to just jump in and have fun and start killing fools.
Joe Curry, producer of multiplayer on Tomb Raider. It's the first time Tomb Raider has ever incorporated multiplayer.
Yeah.
And you're in charge of that.
Yeah.
What's running through your mind when you get that call?
Well, first off, exciting, right? I mean, we're all huge fans of Tomb Raider on the team. I mean, we grew up with Lara Croft. But when we spoke to Crystal, like, we want to do multiplayer, and we're thinking, how do you do that?
I do have Temple of
Told her
Osiris.
Lara's story.
Yo, girl, we should stream it sometime.
You've been in
For the
charge
bants.
of creating the first ever Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
No pressure.
Multiplayer.
No pressure, Zach. Thank you.
What are some of the main pillars that you brought over from the single player to the multiplayer to make those two worlds cohesive?
The element that really stuck out was survival. The group surviving together.
Right.
But then traversal, the ability to go up and down.
Groups surviving together. The couple of games I played of this, everybody just did their own shit.
What did you guys have to tweak in order to create an engaging multiplayer experience?
Although you can play as Sam, so
wouldn't
that's pretty good.
necessarily work with the pieces that were in play with the single player experience.
One example is the bow. Especially in the reboot, it's so iconic that we had to make it work for multiplayer. You have a certain forgiveness when you play single player. Multiplayer, players expect snappiness. I shoot you, I expect you to go down, or you can just do what I do, which is take out the biggest gun and just run for them and shoot them out.
Yeah, the bow that can just down you in one hit.
The Solari,
Yep.
you know, the guys that are on the island have had a chance to prepare traps. We've got things like an ammo box that looks like an ammo box, but it's really an explosive device.
Yeah.
I need ammo, and and it looks just like the regular ammo box, and then you're gonzo.
We have a lightning rod. You'll get a lightning strike on the rod, and then you'll eliminate your enemy. First and foremost, we want to be humble.
Never fucking
We want
happens.
players to just have a really memorable experience. I had fun doing this.
Yeah,
Do you remember when
iconic.
we
It wasn't
set
even
that
out
trap?
yet. Yeah.
Moments that the players will come back
Shut
to and
up.
talk about experiences that they've had for themselves, not necessarily the game.
Don't care how slicked back your hair is.
So, Joe, behind us we have the QA team, or the quality assurance team.
They're a part of the development team. They can tell us what we need to fix and what's working and what's not.
When do I get to game test? When do I get to get my hands on the game?
Soon. We got a surprise for you first, Zach.
So, when I was approached to host the final hours of Tomb Raider, essentially the biggest ask, not even ask, tell that I had was, I want to be in the game. I want to have a cameo. I want to have something. So guess what? Boom! 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 I'm a playable character in the multiplayer Tomb Raider. How sick is that, Joe?
Is he?
You and your team are awesome. I can play with myself, virtually. Are we ready? Oh, that burns. You suck. Get those transmitters running. Radio transmitter activated. We're getting off this damn island? We send this thing.
Beautiful.
I would like to try and kick your butt as me in this map right now. Should we try it? All right.
Bring it.
Let's
I
do
love
it.
how
It's
they have to
happening
blur the controller.
Oh, nice! Was that one of my traps?
That was one of your traps.
These movie traps are really fun. I mean, they're really, really fun.
I know, the t-shirt. Honestly, disgusting. It's fucking one of
Just
yours.
because you made the game and I beat it. As you can see from the people and passion here at Eidos Montreal, this isn't just some add-on.
If you
They're
had passion
devoting
for the game,
themselves
you
to
wouldn't have
making
put him
this
in the game.
experience in keeping with the
Honey.
feeling of single player. Familiar, yet different. Coming up in the final 2 episodes of our series, we go back to the home of Lara Croft. They're taking Tomb Raider to the finish line, and we'll be there for it. Hey everybody, Zachary Levi here.
Oh, he looks
And
normal
for
now.
the final time, back full circle in Redwood City.
For the final time, there's an episode after this, you lying bastard.
Are getting some hands-on experience, an hour's worth of gameplay, a pre-release code. Simultaneously, the studio dev team is hard at work, crunching, optimizing, and polishing all the last little bits of code for what we will all come to know and love as the new Tomb Raider. It's a culmination of everything, and the clock is ticking. These are the final hours of Tomb Raider.
Tonight we have a large audience coming in. We decided that rather than going to one of our partners and just doing a
That
live
dude's from
stream,
IGN.
you come to us. We have a big area in the studio, and let's open it up.
Have you ever done anything like this before?
No, we've never done it because right now we've got black curtains up around a specific area of the studio, which is our next big thing. Only a select few people have been allowed to come in, and everybody's heavily NDA'd. And now we're going to bring, 80 plus people into the studio. Well, it's exciting, to bring those type of people into the studio. They're the fans. They're the people who love it, and we want people to be a part of our experience.
On one half of the studio, all that is going on like crazy. But basically, in half the studio, you guys are just pounding, working out every last glitch, every last bug, making sure that it's all just perfect.
CD Projekt Red. Don't know what happened there. Weird to think the first Tomb Raider was made by 6 people. What, the original?
Sweaty around here, you're dicing with death right there. We might be missing a release date.
That's how big a day this Friday is.
Yeah, it's huge.
If we submit
Yeah.
and say, hey, there's maybe
Yeah.
that we'd like to change, then as a studio, we'll change. We'll improve them. Or there's small things that they say, hey, this
That's
is
mental.
better if you just fix
And then
this."
think of how many people worked on this one.
Literally sitting there waiting for that to
Evolution,
happen.
man.
And there have been games I've worked on
Evolution of
where we
games.
submit it,
It's
and within
fascinating.
24 hours, it would get kicked back, and they'd say, hey, you guys are crazy. You shouldn't have submitted it.
So, there are 80 people in the office.
That's a Red Bull.
Right now, you're...
Why blur it? We can tell what it is. Why have him hold it on screen?
They're strewn about.
Have him put
So
it
we
down.
have guys working out a very prioritized hit list, right? So we say, okay, this is the most egregious thing.
Oh, it's G Fuel, is it? Monster,
debugging
Red
here?
Bull, Blue Cow. Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, we want to make sure everything feels snappy all the time.
Menu transitions. If I had a nickel for every time.
One of the toughest things
That was a
about
pity
Lara's
laugh.
character is her hair. You try to simulate hair in a video game, and
Oh, yeah.
it's not always exactly the way it would be in real life. But that's something that's, I think the fans really point that out, and they want Lara to look as good and as believable as possible. So even in the home stretches, we're trying to sweeten it and make you believe it. So I spend a ton of time playing the game.
So while everybody else is busting their butts trying to make it work, you're having fun. That's basically what you're saying. There's about 80 people that are all still busily working in this last week before the game goes to cert.
Absolutely.
One of those groups is called the what group?
The OMS group.
And what does OMS stand for?
OMS is an acronym for Oh My Shit.
And what does that mean exactly?
When you're into the high octane moment, the only response that we were challenging the team that it could come back with was, I would exclaim, "Oh my shit, that's awesome!" Right? Like, I couldn't even cuss properly.
It could have been
Who says "Oh my shit"?
HG, the Oh my holy God.
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
But Oh my shit.
Oh
I
my
think
shit. It
is
resonated.
sufficient.
So many companies focus on the explosions, and we love explosions. I mean, there's plenty of them in the game. But
I was gonna say,
sometimes that
there's like
implosion
several thousand
where
explosions
you
in the
actually
game.
feel like you're part of that. We have an early example in the scavenger den, very early in the game, where the camera is about 6 inches from the back of her head as she's in this claustrophobic moment as the ceiling gets lower and lower and the water gets higher and higher and the torch, you're worried, is it going to go out? And as you suck in for that moment, if it's resonating with people, as we've seen it resonate here, you actually watch people who are claustrophobic kind of lean back in their chair a little and kind of react, and that's exactly what an OMS team is about.
You feel confident that in 4 days, in 4.5 days, this thing is like ready to ship and ready to rock and gonna blow people's minds?
How about we look at that? I got a board that'll tell us.
Oh yeah, where's your board?
Right over here. I'm a stats guy, right?
Okay.
Like, it's got to be like the McNamara version of reality, right? So, and getting things done, like it's very NORAD, like with the update on where we are with bug count. So we have the number of days that we want to count down for, the priorities of what people are given.
Yo, as a person who likes stats,
Overview of how
this
many
is
things
satisfying.
resolved per person.
Carrie's got her work cut out for her. Come on, Carrie.
Yeah. Ultimately, we have to figure out how do we hit
Poor
the goal
Carrie.
in a predictable timeline. So right now, we're trending towards being able to hit that in 12 days.
But you need to deliver in 4.5.
Correct.
So what does that mean?
I need to go right now.
Where's your head out right now, knowing that in
CD Projekt Red Bugsby.
I'm super critical.
Their chart do be popping though.
I tend to be perfectionist and absolutely that way. It's more like
Maybe that's why they went wrong. They didn't have a fucking fancy chart.
and you're like,
but there could be one more thing I could do.
It's a weird feeling because it's been part of our lives for a very long time.
How long have you been on?
Oh, Ro, I didn't even notice you hosted me. Oh, thank you, my love.
4 years.
That's insane.
All I saw was the raid.
Yeah,
fresh face.
I was young then.
Thank you, my dear.
No bags, no
I had
grey
a
hair.
soul.
Yeah.
It's been a roller coaster ride, and during that time, we've been around the world. We've gone to shows. We've
God,
gone to press, we've given hands
literally
on,
about 40 minutes of this stream has just been these fucking videos.
We've seen people excited.
You fucking suscept your audience to me doing this shit.
Awesome. It's not just about Lara's arc. It's about the arc of people who've come in to the roles. You know, we've had people come in as animators and move up to the highest levels in their profession along these 4 years.
Come back,
so people
though.
have grown in these roles.
And you got a silky smooth voice like me? Don't blame him.
But we're coming to a point now where we're, you know.
Also, my constant coughing into the mic. It's got to be attracting to someone.
This phase has come to an end. You know, it's been awesome.
With less than a week to go before console certification, the last few bugs to squash, and a general lack of sleep all around, this production is definitely going to go down the wire. Will they make it? Join us next time in the final hours of Tomb Raider. Find out.
Will they make it? Will they get the game out? I hope so. This game looks sick.
Over the last few months, we've followed the very
Probably.
talented Tomb Raider team through some of the most ambitious and innovative game development the industry has ever seen. In the next few days, they submit the final code for certification. If they
Can you hurry
pass,
up? I just want to see if
game
there's
ships on
comics
time,
and then
everyone gets some much-deserved sleep.
get
If
some
they
food.
fail, well,
Then go
let's
bed.
not talk about that. I'm Zachary Levi, and these are the final hours of Tomb Raider.
We've been around for 20 years at this point.
Oh, wow.
In this industry, that's crazy.
Yeah.
20 years of games, and many times we've almost not made it, right? Through generation transitions, or you've had ups and downs in terms of games being released. And for us to still be here, making games and being competitive, it's amazing.
Is this pretty typical for you guys to be in the last week and really all you've got left are these little bugs to do?
Maybe it's a few hundred still left to go. The team's cranking them out. You know, you're play testing it a lot. You're getting QA, quality
I've
assurance,
played
make
Game
sure
Dev
it's,
Tycoon.
Make sure it's clean. You know, stuff's coming in still, as in like, hey, this crazy thing happened here.
And simultaneously, IDOS Montreal is doing what you're doing just with the multiplayer at the same time because the multiplayer and the single player are being delivered at the same time.
Yeah, so it's a big
on
team.
Friday.
Everybody's got to come together at the same time.
I mean,
at the same moment, and put pencils down and say they're done.
How long is this game? I did a 3-hour stream, 4-hour stream, and another like 4-hour stream.
Let me tell you now, we've had to move Brian Horton.
Let me tell you, 13 hours of an actual story does not take less or the same amount of time as multiplayer.
The beautiful world. Now step aside.
People who made the multiplayer were just fannying around at this point, probably.
To make sure our screenshots are good, to make sure we have covers for magazines,
posters,
to make sure we have posters.
Right.
There's a lot of materials, just like in a film.
Yeah.
Where when a film's done and in the can, you have to sell it to people. You have to let them know what's cool about it.
Listen, I'm coming to get you. I'm going to get you out of there. I promise, Sam.
What's been great about this over the course of the entire process, you traveling around with us, is that we've been able to bring you the final hours of each of the pieces.
Yeah.
We've spent probably the last 6 months watching how the music's come to an end and the voice acting has to be done. So each of our episodes up until now has really shown a side of the final hours of that particular person's role in the game. And now everything's come to a head where we're submitting the game this week. The guys are tirelessly working. You know, the guys have literally, at some cases, slept in the studio.
Mad lads.
So launch day, let's say you were at March 5th now. Where are you? What are you doing?
I'm probably in bed trying to get 12 hours sleep. Because more than likely I would have been at some midnight opening the night before up till very late celebrating. So I'm probably at this time of the day, I'm probably in bed.
I think a lot of us won't even know what to do with ourselves. You get so heads down.
God, do you remember going to parties?
It's been a part of our lives for years now.
Fuck, man.
And you sort of get to
2013
that point
was an
where
easy
waking up
time.
in the morning, you're thinking about the game, and going to bed at night, you're thinking about the game. I'll try to sneak a little time here over the holidays, but then, you know, wait till the dust settles and we really get this in the hands of the consumers before I can really relax, I think.
Even though I played the game so many times, I cannot wait to take the cellophane off.
You'd get together with a load of friends and just drink and have a good time.
It's the retail.
They
It's the
were
retail
wild.
copy. And there's something special about that printed disc, putting it into the system, and you're like, this is the same game that I worked on for 3 years plus, and everyone else can have the same
different time.
I'm gonna have
Back in my day.
Of all the taglines, whether they're actual dialogue in the game or marketing lines or whatever, something that would sum up your experience over the last 4 years is...
All I know is distance.
A Survivor's Born in You,
Big
a Survivor's
mood.
Born in Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah. We just wanted to be known as doing top-tier work. There's games I look at and say, I wish I worked on that game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I wanted Crystal to be that. And I think that with this one, we're going to do it.
Yeah, anybody can make an explosion look beautiful and make a world look phenomenal, but we now move into a period of time where it's about having a connection with something which is much deeper than just saying I have a controller in my hand and I'm guiding a character around and fighting or solving puzzles. There's a depth in the story that we're trying to tell, which hopefully for us is going to be able to set that structure for the future. Hopefully we've taken the risk and we've been shouting so loud about this that we're actually carving what should be done.
Oh, don't do this to me, you northern bastard.
Are you excited? You nervous?
I'm both excited and nervous, you know, because we've been masters of our own destiny up until this point, and now we're going to continue that right through to launch. And what's great is that from the very first presentation I gave with Daryl about here's the vision of the game, all the way through to the very first game sitting on a shelf on March 5th, we've been there for the ride. We've been on that journey. And then all of a sudden you reach March 5th and
you're no longer
there's millions of copies of your game out there, and they're in people's hands, and you're thinking, like, how are they playing it? Are they having fun? What are they saying? What are they going to do? As soon as they put the controller down, what's the next thing for them? Do they want to tell people?
What do you want their response to be?
I hope those people see that the story we've built and the foundation we've built is one that will last a long time.
Doing something that's special is just incredibly tough, no matter what it is. You've got to really want it. You have to be passionate. You have to care about it.
everybody realizes that this is the game of their career, and everybody wants to put as much time and energy into this as possible.
We have a studio full of passionate people who have put their lives into making this thing happen.
This is not just a game that we're just going to ship on March 5th and people will go, great, I've got another game to my credits. This is one where the team are going to look back and go, that was a journey. It's been an honor to be able to work on Tomb Raider, and long may it continue. I see this getting bigger and better over the next few years.
No. That was nice. And the game was cancelled the following Monday. The end. Also, how the fuck are you reading this? Oh, okay, let's go. Yeah, give me that zoom in. I'm just gonna quickly skim through this. If you want to fucking read it, go on the VOD. Oh, that's gross. No, she isn't somebody I wouldn't mind getting lost with. You fucking fuck. Grim! Goodbye, Grim. They're bikini babes? That's Sam. God damn. Big Grim. The man has Grim. He has a fucking can of iron brew. Not brew. Brew. Iron brew. Finest drink in Scotland. Wow, what a stereotype. What an absolute mad lad. How long is this going for? No, not too far. I don't even, like, ignore the lower part of that picture. Like, get rid of, like, this thing. And just, that picture looks very, very sus. Where the fuck was I? Looks like an eHow page. Oh my god, that's amazing. Where was he keeping that fucking razor blade? He's a mad lad. Oh, Uncle Roth. But really it was Daddy Roth. Let's get you some breakfast. Ex-cop? Oh, she was an ex-cop. Don't you start that daddy shit in here. Only I can start that daddy shit in here. Oh, her partner got shot. She had to tell his family. And then she quit. And then she went rogue and killed a load of people. She talked to her friend Latricia. She was like, yo, you should become a mechanic. And she became a mechanic. She always remembers her friend. Roth was drinking one day. He didn't like the tequila. He punched the bartender. And I came along, punched him. He was like, damn lady, that's one mad right hook you got. We talked. And that's how I ended up pregnant. Now let me light my blowtorch with this lighter. Yeah, hey, that's what happens. You punch somebody in a bar, shit's gonna happen. I'm not gonna give Whitman the time of day. He can fucking do one. Okay, I'll scroll through it slowly in case anybody actually wants to read it, but I'll give it like a second pause. I nicked this vase. Oh shit. Yeah. Shooting. Dead man. Dr. Whitman. Get in the van. Jonas! Mad lad. The team all assembled. Alex came. Alex is dead. He's still wearing that same shirt. He does look like an old man in the comic. Bless him. Alex. Yeah, Alex does look like Peter Parker, but tired. Peter Parker's very fucking hard to say. Peter Parker picked a pickled spider. Yeah, I know, right? I read this book about Asian cuisine. Now I know all about it. Oh, I threw my laptop overboard. Why is she looking at a phone in that angle? Is this what people do when they want to, like, send a naughty picture? Do they get that angle? That's a very fucking odd... Lara, please! Sam! We just brought Sam along so she could be a friend. That's pro Jared angle. Oh, that's spicy. What is Jonas doing there? He's either gonna sniff them nougat pillows or cry out of them. Oh. Can't believe we're doing this. Oh no, it's incredible. It's gonna change our lives. And then sketches, yada yada yada. But I'm done fucking about now. I promise. What's in the art book? No! You wanna look at it? Buy the game. It's cheap. But that'll sum up our stream for today. Finished another game on stream. Plowing through my backlog. First it was Detroit Become Human, now it's Tomb Raider. Both playthroughs are available on YouTube. Shameless plug. Shameless plug for my own shit, so is it shameless? I don't know. But thank you for all the support today, Ro. And if I can get that remote play working, hopefully next stream... Well, actually I need to buy a new mic. Well, a different one that has auxiliary cord because... Fucking... Not an easy workaround. If not, fuck it. But yeah, that was fun. Can't wait to play Rise. That will be the next stream on the docket. But yeah, not really sure what I want to play. Rise and something, maybe something easy, something chill. Maybe some more Banner Saga. Anyway, got excited and I coughed. But yeah, thank you for all the support, Ro. And have a good night yourself, you mad lad. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. And have a good one. Ta-da, love you.